Let's talk about Ivica Kvaratskhelia, the boy who grew up in Georgia, dreamed of making it big, and ended up conquering Italy, lifting the Champions League, and writing history for his country. He went from being a shy kid into one of the best players in the world. Ivica was born into football. His father, Badri Kvaratskhelia, was a footballer himself, playing for Dinamo Tbilisi and even making 3 appearances for the Azerbaijan national team, including one against his own country, Georgia. Football ran in the family. Even his younger brother, Torniki, born in 2010, chose the same path. But what Ivica would go on to achieve, no one in Georgia could have imagined it. His rise started early. Coming through the youth system, he made his senior debut for Dinamo Tbilisi in 2017, coming on as a 62nd minute substitute in a 1-1 draw against Kolketi. It wasn't much, but for a 16-year-old kid, it meant everything. His first goal came just weeks later, a 1-0 win away to Shukura Koboleti on the 19th of November. By the end of the season, he had 5 appearances, and that one goal, small numbers, but enough to make scouts pay attention. In March 2018, things took a strange turn. A contract dispute forced him to leave Dinamo Tbilisi, and he signed for Rustavi on a free transfer. But this move gave him a chance to shine. Playing 18 games in the Erovnuli Liga, he scored 3 goals, and more importantly, showed flashes of a raw talent that would soon explode. That same year, The Guardian included him in their list of the 60 best young players in the world. Bayern Munich scouts noticed him, even inviting him to watch their Champions League quarter-final against Sevilla. Imagine being a teenager from Georgia sitting in the Allianz Arena, watching world-class stars, and knowing one day that stage could be yours. His first step outside Georgia came in February 2019. He joined Lokomotiv Moscow on loan, making his debut as an 86-minute substitute against Anzi Makashkala. His time there was short, and by July the loan ended. Lokomotiv wanted him permanently, but negotiations failed, leaving their manager Yuri Semin frustrated. Semin called him extremely talented, and he wasn't wrong. Then came the big leap. On the 6th of July 2019, he signed a 5-year contract with Rubin Kazan, and right from his debut against his former club, Lokomotiv, he made an impact. Coming off the bench, he scored the equalizer in a 1-1 draw, earning man of the match from Rubin fans. His first season saw his market value shoot up 5 times in just a year, and by 2020, he was considered one of the best young players in the Russian Premier League. Rubin supporters voted him Player of the Month 4 times during the 2020-21 season. Even L'Equipe noticed, putting him in their list of the 50 best players born in the 21st century. But then, war changed everything. In March 2022, after FIFA allowed foreign players to suspend contracts in Russia due to the invasion of Ukraine, Ivica left Rubin Kazan and returned home, signing with Dinamo Batumi. This move reignited him. In just 11 league matches, he scored 8 goals and provided 2 assists, earning the Erovnuli Liga Best Player of the Round award between April and July. But his time in Georgia wouldn't last long. Bigger clubs were watching, and then came the move that changed his life. On 1st July 2022, Napoli signed Ivica for around 10 to 12 million euros. Nobody expected much. He was just a kid from Georgia, replacing Lorenzo Insigne. He made his debut on the 15th of August against Hellas Verona, scoring once and assisting in a 5-2 win. A week later, he scored twice against Monza, becoming the first Napoli player to score 3 goals in the first 2 league games. He ended August as Serie A Player of the Month, but that was just the beginning. On 4 October, he scored his first Champions League goal in a stunning 6-1 win over Ajax, and a week later he scored again in the return leg, adding an assist and earning man of the match. By early 2023, he won Serie A Player of the Month again in February and March, making him the first player in history to win the award multiple times in one season. And his goal against Atalanta on the 11th of March, a ridiculous solo effort that won both Goal of the Month and Goal of the Season. The biggest moment came on the 4th of May, 2023. A 1-1 draw with Udinese confirmed Napoli's first Serie A title in 33 years. Khvicha finished with 12 goals and 10 assists, winning the Serie A MVP and the Champions League Young Player of the Season. That's when he got the name Cavaradona. The next season wasn't as explosive, but he still delivered. He ended his goal drought in a 4-1 win over Udinese on 27 September, scored 11 league goals with 6 assists, and picked up another Serie A Player of the Month award in October 2024, his 4th, tying Paulo Dybala's record. But in January 2025, things took a turn. On 16th January, he shocked Napoli fans by announcing his departure. The club was leading Serie A and fans felt betrayed, but Khvicha had his reasons. The next day, Paris Saint-Germain announced his signing for €80 million. He became the first Georgian player in the club's history. His debut came on 25th of January, providing an assist to Ousmane Dembélé in a 1-1 draw against Reims. On 7th February, he scored his first PSG goal in a 4-1 win over Monaco, and on 19th February, he scored his first Champions League goal for PSG in a 7-0 win over Brest. Success followed quickly. On 5th April, PSG secured their 13th League One title, making Khvicha the first Georgian to win it. On 23rd May, even though he had left Napoli mid-season, he was still considered a Serie A winner, having played 17 matches. 2 days later, PSG lifted the Coupe de France, and a week later came the biggest night of his career. On 31st May 2025, at the Allianz Arena, PSG faced Inter Milan in the Champions League final. PSG won 5-0, and Khvicha scored the 4th goal, becoming the first Georgian to score in a European club final, and only the second Georgian ever to win the Champions League, after Kaka Kaladze. But his story didn't stop there. On 23rd June 2025, at the FIFA Club World Cup, he scored the opening goal against Seattle Sounders, becoming the first Georgian to ever score in the tournament. From a quiet kid in Georgia to lifting the Champions League, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia went from being an unknown teenager to one of the most exciting players in world football. And the best part, he's only 24 and he's just getting started.